We've all heard the pitch from the hyper-caffeinated executive. They run on 4 hours of sleep, a double espresso, and sheer willpower. That schedule turns a visionary's brain into a toxic waste dump. Every minute you are awake, firing off emails and analyzing spreadsheets, your neurons are burning energy. Just like any engine, that process produces exhaust. Your brain cells generate metabolic garbage simply by functioning. When you skip a full night's rest, that biological garbage piles up. The immediate casualty is your hippocampus, the structure responsible for consolidating memories. Without adequate sleep, the information you learn today, like crucial client details or a new market strategy, never transfers to long-term storage. Then, the deep emotional centers of the brain start to misfire. When deprived of sleep, the amygdala becomes 40% more reactive. You are operating on raw, erratic impulse, rather than calculated, rational business risks. Treating rest as an optional luxury systematically dismantles the exact cognitive tools, memory, emotional control, and executive function required to successfully close deals. To understand how to fix this, look at what happens when you finally power down. The glymphatic system is your brain's overnight janitorial staff, and they only clock in for their shift when your body enters deep, slow-wave sleep. During this deep sleep phase, the microscopic sewer grates in your brain open up. Cerebrospinal fluid rushes in, acting like a power washer to flush out the dark, toxic metabolic debris that accumulated all day. When you set an alarm to wake up early and grind, you are forcing that cleanup crew to leave before the job is done. A single night of restricted sleep leaves behind toxic proteins, like amyloid beta, to coat your neurons and interfere with your executive function. Walking into a boardroom to pitch a client with a brain coated in amyloid sludge guarantees underperformance. You are quite literally trying to think through biological mud. Recognizing this drop in performance, high achievers often try to cheat the system. One of the most common shortcuts is the widespread reliance on over-the-counter melatonin supplements to force an artificial rest. Melatonin acts as a biological starting pistol. It signals the body to prepare for rest without participating in the actual generation of unconsciousness. Then there is the massive trend of magnesium supplementation. Executives buy expensive pills hoping to calm their nervous systems, but most common forms of magnesium, like oxide or citrate, cannot even cross the blood-brain barrier. Since sleep is generated inside the brain, a compound that never reaches your brain cannot affect your sleep architecture. If you are already magnesium normative, taking these supplements results only in the creation of expensive urine. Throwing money at synthetic shortcuts fails because you cannot biologically out-supplement a fundamentally broken physiological sleep foundation. Of course, there are times when pulling a grueling 40-hour sprint is absolutely unavoidable for a major business milestone or an acquisition. This chart maps out sleep banking. By accumulating extra hours before a period of deprivation, you build a biological savings account. When that downward plunge in rest happens, your cognitive performance is caught by a safety net, preventing the severe drop in mental acuity. Elite performers anticipate the demand and strategically stockpile rest, treating it as a vital biological asset for high-stakes professional sprints. To lock in elite rest, you need a bulletproof routine. The QQQRT framework, quantity, quality, regularity, and timing, optimizes both physical and mental recovery. Regularity is the single most critical rule. Waking up at the exact same time every single day anchors your biological clock. Sunlight hitting your eyes sets a precise 14-hour timer for your brain's natural melatonin faucet. Even with a strict schedule, there is an inevitable executive pitfall. Between 1 and 3 in the morning, your core body temperature naturally rises. This often causes you to wake up in the dark, stressed out, and feeling an immediate urge to stand up. The strict biological advice here is counterintuitive. Stay in bed. Moving from a laying to a standing position forces your heart rate to jump from a resting state to an active one. This shows exactly why that movement is destructive. To successfully re-enter a state of unconsciousness, your heart rate must remain strictly below 60 beats per minute. By standing up and jumping to 85 beats per minute, you are chemically forcing your brain to stay awake. High performance requires treating sleep as the ultimate performance-enhancing drug. using it to clean your brain, protect your memory, and ensure mental clarity to close the deal.